Hey, what's going on with your family? Torsion T's Guitars, man. I was sitting back today and I was like, I'm so grateful to be a part of this community of the community of the community of YouTube. No, it's not really the community of YouTube. I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I know a lot of you guys do too. There's a lot of mess on YouTube. There's a lot of politics on YouTube. There's a lot of different views on a lot of different stuff on there. But you know what else is on YouTube? There's a lot of really, really, really good music. And when I think about music and in my life and how it affects my life, it's been a part of my life since I grew up. I took piano lessons when I was 3 years old, you know. And I went on from that, got my first guitar at 9 or 10, and then I traded that in for a bass because our band needed a bass player, and I stuck with that for about 10 years, maybe 15 years or so. And I was a really good bass player, but I played heavy metal music back then, hair band music, 80s music. I was in a band, and we played with a lot of big name bands that are big name bands today. We were trying to be a big name band today. Um, but our ticket didn't get punched, and I'm not going to sit here and whine and cry about that because there's no need to. I've got a pretty good life, man. But it got me to thinking of what's going on with the music that I do, because when I was sitting here today, I play every day, and I was sitting here and I was playing guitar, and I was like, let me get on here and learn some new songs. I wanted to learn this new, not new, old Travis Tritt song that I couldn't figure out. So I went on YouTube and I got I got the strumming pattern. I got all the little notes in the beginning, the intro, the outro, the chorus, and I learned that song, and I was like, wow, I can't wait, to play this song, maybe play it at the winery or something like that. But beautiful song. And then I started listening. I was looking at my playlist, and I was like, every time I play a song, it brings me back to somewhere. If I listen to Judas Priest, and I still do, but when I listen to Judas Priest, for some reason, it brings me back to like 1983 when I was at the S Festival, right? And I was watching those bands for 2 or 3 days. I don't remember much of that festival, but I do know I was there, and I do know that I remember Triumph was going on stage when the sun was setting, and I remember seeing Rob Halford pull out on that Sportster with the microphones taped to the pipes, and it just a massive amounts of people, and that was a pretty cool memory because a lot of friends were around. And I remember, when I listened to Janis Joplin, me and Bobby McGee, there's a part in that song where it talks about Salinas, California. And I remember a buddy of mine was moving up to Northern California. And so we were going to move him up there, and then his mom dropped us off at the Golden Gate Bridge, and we were going to hitchhike back, which, would take about 2 or 3 days to get home, and, obviously. Um, and so people would pick you up hitchhiking, but the thing that the three of us didn't remember is that we're sitting there out in the middle of summer in California where it's nice and hot. We had really long hair and we had no shower. So those rides, when people would pick us up, and they would pick us up, but they'd kick us out of the car after after about a quarter mile, at most a mile. So we ended up just sleeping on the beach. We just walked down Pacific Coast Highway from the Golden Gate Bridge right into Los Angeles. And what a summer that was. And there's a lot of songs that remind me of that summer. That when I hear them, and luckily we made it safe, and no one got abducted or anything like that. It was a lot of fun. But we stopped, and I remember we walked through Salinas, California, and we slept in the park. And I remember that. And so when I hear that song, it brings back that memory of the friends that I grew up with. I think, I don't know, I was maybe 18, 19 years old, and we were sitting around, and we were doing that before it was legal. And I don't know, it must have been 2 o'clock in the morning. We were living in Southern California, and we heard the Eagles come on. And so we decided to get in my old Chevy van and drive down to the corner in Winslow, Arizona. There's a liquor store there, by the way, and a statue. But we went down and we did that. So when I hear the Eagles play, that brings me back to a memory. Um, I hear Ingve play. I hear some of the other bands play. I hear Metallica play, and it reminds me of when we played the same venues that they did. Great White, Slayer, Poison, Rat, Metallica. We were right in the mix of all that stuff too. And we were trying to be a big name band today, and our ticket didn't get punched, and I don't regret that. I mean, I don't know if I'd still be alive today if it did. But you know, I look at some of these songs and some of the music that I'm able to that people share with me, that artists share with me, and then I get on live streams and I see um, like Yubi is a great example. His motto is "Embrace the suck," right? And Yubi doesn't suck. He doesn't suck. You know, he comes up with some pretty good little riffs, and sounds halfway decent sometimes. And does it really matter what you sound like? To me, it doesn't. You know, I play a lot of guitar, man. I used to be a phenomenal bass player. I was a phenomenal guitar player. I put it down for a decade or so, and on and offed it for, you know, maybe a decade or two more, and then I just got back into it. You know, the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm getting better and better and better and better too, and that's because I get a chance to play. But music moves me, and I get to use that as a vessel to take me back pretty much anywhere I want to go. You know, people ask me all the time. They're like, oh, you know, they're like, here I go. Here's my card. You know, I own T's Guitars. If you're ever looking for a guitar, oh, really? What kind of music do you play? I said, man, I don't know. You know, I have no idea, man. It's whatever moves me. I mean, I like Pink Floyd. I like Bob Seger. I like ZZ Top. I like Elton John. You know, I like Travis Tritt. I like Brooks and Dunn. Um, I like Yngwie. I like Eric Johnson. You know, I like the Scorpions. I like Chris Stapleton. I like Aaron Lewis. I like Zach Brown. It's all over the place. You know, it's all over the place. My latest thing is this band. What are they called? They're called the Red Clay Strays, and they've got some songs on there. They've got one song called "Wondering Why." I'm not plugging the song or anything. I'm just telling you, man. If you're married and your wife won't let you buy you or won't let you buy another guitar, and you play this song for her, there's a good friggin' chance you're going to end up being able to buy a new guitar, man. It's all about having the perfect woman in your life and wondering why, right? And she'll sit there and she'll shake her head as you're playing it for her, going, "Yeah, that's right," you know. So that's a beautiful song. I'll put the link down in the description. But how blessed we are today to have the freedom to play any kind of music that we want, to learn and to get better, and to be a part of a community that that never dies, right? I may die, but this music will never die. It'll be long, long after I'm gone, you know. And I've got some songs that I want to leave behind, you know, for my kids and things like that, and my family members and my dear friends. Um, I'm not dying or anything yet. I hope. There's no sign yet. Anyway, the doctor says I got a minute. But like I said, man, what a blessing to be able to be a part of this deal. Um, and we're like sold out of guitars, so I've only got 3 or 4 guitars left, and they're all set up already. You know, I did that. My tools they're all cleaned up. All my guitars are polished. I did string changes on everything, and I'm just waiting for these new ST1s to get in so I can, you know, fulfill all those. Not me alone, but we can fulfill all those orders and get rocking and rolling on those and start the madness again. You know, because it is madness. It is madness. There's a guy playing. I put it up on our Facebook page today. I sent him a guitar about 6 months ago or so. Is one of the last run ST1s, the SPRs, and this guy can make this guitar sing, and that's kind of the motivation for this video. His name is Don Giroux. It's Girous. I'll put a link for that in the comment section or the description of this one too. He's a fantastic musician, and I like that kind of music. You know, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I like smooth jazz and just really solid playing. And this guy he does the backtrack with the guitar, and he does the leads with the guitar and stuff. He talks about it for a minute. It's not a long video. Um, but I'm going to send him out some more guitars. I can tell you that, because I love to hear people play our guitars and to play them beautifully. Andy, our R&D guy, some of you guys have seen him on a video or so. He's up on our website. He's a Broadway musician. You know, he's a professional musician. I'm not a professional musician. I'm a guitar builder. And I don't even know if I'd call it. I guess I'm a professional. I was watching a video about who's a professional. I don't know who is a professional. It doesn't really matter. I've seen some pros that are just phenomenal, and then I've seen other people playing that get paid to play that are professionals. Um, that are amateurish at best. You know, so I don't know. What's a professional? Be a professional today. Pick up your guitar. Give it a chance. You can only get better. You know, there's really there's no wrong way to do when you pick up a guitar or any musical instrument for that matter. Um, yeah, man. I just out of stuff to do. Wanted to share my thoughts today. Um, it's a great day today. You know, to be a part of this community that we're all a part of, and all the fellow YouTubers and the guys, the content providers and streamers or what YouTubers, whatever you want to call them. You know, I get to spend a lot of time in their live streams and stuff like that, and I really enjoy it. And so for that, I guess I will sign off. And as always, family, rock on, and we'll see you next time. And let's hurry up that this boat gets an extra thing of wind behind it, so I can start putting together some more guitars. Man, I'm going out of my mind here. Um, but we'll see you next time. And as always, family, rock on and peace.